All right, so I'm Melissa. I'm a personal trainer here at ICC. I'm also a certified pound instructor here as well. And then this is,
my name is Spencer. I'm one of the ICC personal trainers as well. I also teach a Tai Chi class as well as do some kicks classes as well.
All right, and today we're going to talk about faults of fad diets. Oh, too far. It's not going the way I want it to go.
That's right. That's happened to me one time and I went through everything.
There it goes. Okay, so what is fad diet? A fad diet is a stylish weight loss plan that promises dramatic results. Typically, these diets are not healthy and don't result in long-term weight loss. Some of these diets can actually be dangerous towards your health. Okay, so today we're going to go over some fad diets that you may or may not have heard of. Some of them are more popular than others. So the ones we'll be going over today will be the Atkins diet, the Paleo diet, Weight Watchers, Raw Food diet, the Blood Type diet, Baby Food diet, Tapeworm diet, and Spencer will do a little spiel on the Keto diet. And over here is just like a little more examples of some fad diets that you may or may not have heard of. They're kind of smaller, so we won't be going too much into them. But each one we're going to talk about some problems with them, and then but there's some things you can also take away from these diets. Okay, so first is the Atkins diet. So the Atkins diet is a pretty popular diet. It's a very commercialized diet. It's a low-carb, high-protein diet. So some problems with the Atkins diet is that it can result in having ketosis. Ketosis happens when your carbs are too low, and your body has a hard time adjusting to that. It could lead to keto bodies built up, and in extreme cases, too severe ketosis can lead to comas, just because you're not getting enough carbohydrates to your brain. So that's the severe cases. Then it also does add stress to your kidneys. That is because of the protein and how it metabolizes. Your kidneys work a little harder to metabolize proteins, so it can add stress to your kidneys. So if you have any kind of kidney history or kidney problems, this diet wouldn't be a good choice for you, just because you wouldn't want to add any more stress than you already have on your kidneys. And in the long term, if you do this diet for an extended period of time, you could cause other damages, permanent damages to your kidneys. Also, studies have shown that this particular diet, after a year, there's not any additional more benefits to doing this diet than just a regular diet and exercise program. And also it's restrictive. I'll talk about being restrictive a lot in each particular one. Any diet that's restrictive that says not saying that to limit what you can eat, but just saying you can't eat these things or don't eat these foods, it's going to be harder for you to follow and keep up with that long term, because eventually you'll get some cravings or you'll want to eat this food again.
Or if I can also add,
yeah.
Sometimes whenever, especially holidays or we have things coming up, whenever you go spend time with your families or friends, if they don't know about your dietary restrictions, it makes it really hard for you to stick to what you want to do. And that can make you want to break and have a break in that diet.
Yeah, and that also goes with being kind of affected with your social life. Friends want to go out to eat, and you don't know what to order on the menu, so you tend not to go out to eat with them anymore. So your social life can be affected also by these fad diets. But there are some things you can take away from the Atkins diet. One thing that I do like the Atkins diet does, it wants to reduce your refined carbohydrates. So your not whole grains, so your white bread, your white rice, anything that's like simple sugars, it's trying to reduce those. So that's one thing that I do like about the Atkins diet. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is the Paleo diet. The Paleo diet is just based on what people think we ate back in caveman times. And that would be, meat, fish, vegetables, but does not include anything that's been processed or any kind of grain product. Such like bread, carbs, once again, is a restriction. It also doesn't include anything that has like peanuts, beans, peas, legumes. All those things are not included in this diet. You cannot have those. The theory behind that is that if you eat a grain, they say that grains, by consuming them, you get the diseases such as celiac disease or Crohn's disease. There's no scientific evidence pointing at that eating grains causes these diseases. And then also by saying no, you can't eat peanuts or legumes, they contain what's called a phytic acid. Phytic acid in your body can add like inhibitors in your metabolism, causing your metabolism to slow down a little bit, so gaining weight. So that's why they say not to do it. But research has shown that your body will adjust to phytic acids. So if you eat them regularly, your body won't be as affected by their inhibitors. So again, some problems with this diet is that it's restrictive. It's saying you can't eat these certain foods. It'd be a lot harder to follow that way. It can be pretty expensive because of the foods that you are limited to choose from, and it is difficult to follow because of the restrictions. A lot of times people that are on this diet will need some extra dietary help, like a dietitian, just to make sure they're getting all the proper nutrients they need for their day-to-day, for their body to function properly. But again, things to take away is that it does really focus on fresh food rather than any kind of processed foods. Fresh foods are always better for you because they don't have any kind of sodium in them. They have their full nutritional value. Anytime that you have processed foods, a lot of that nutrition will be left, be taken out through the process.
And also something when they talk about with your fresh fruits and vegetables, even though you get some frozen vegetables and some frozen fruits, it's still better than having some of the ones canned, depends on what it is. Sometimes they talk about flash freezing or still basically as close as you can get. Because once again, with us being busy throughout the day, it's just easier to go and get those like steam bags of vegetables, have that, add that to your diet, and that can still help. And as we go through other talks about diets, people don't think about their micros as far as their vitamins and other things they have to do. Now, we're not going to talk a whole lot about that, but that's something to think about when any diet that you change, that you might be lacking something.
All right, next we're going to talk about the Weight Watchers diet. This one's really popular due to celebrity endorsements of this particular one. I know Oprah is a part of this. As we all know, Oprah has gone through ups and downs with her weight. She'll be on this diet and then she'll get in a really good weight. And then she'll drop the diet and all of a sudden she'll gain that weight back. So it's kind of a diet that's like, once you get off it, you'll revert back to your old ways.
It could be good still.
It could be good, yeah.
We had it here at ICC,
Okay.
like as a wellness thing. They
Sure.
had Weight Watchers come here, like at work. And the problem was we all lost our weight.
Sure.
And then we had no paying members, so then they went away. And then we all gained our weight back because we quit doing it, because they weren't here, and then everybody quit going to it, you know.
And
to
they
keep
don't
your-
teach a lot of the things. They say do this wise, but they don't have the education on letting you know why you're doing this, why the calorie restrictions or certain things. So it's kind of hard once they take it away from you. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I think it was more of like people didn't take the time out of their, you know, because
Sure.
we did it here at work, so you weren't being accountable.
Sure.
So, but I am a big Weight Watchers fan. I just actually joined last week again
Cool.
because you can eat regular food. You can
Yeah.
eat out. You can eat. You know, you're not restricted to things, and it
Yeah.
very
It
much talks about eating fresh fruits and vegetables and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's complicated to follow too, you know.
Yeah,
so,
very much so.
but
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Weight Watchers is like, it's one of the most popular diets. It really is. But that's because they do show results. But like you said, like once people get off it, they have a hard time, like, because they were trained like this is what I get, and like people are telling them exactly what to do instead of like having them like make up their own suggestions, and then someone telling like, oh, this is why you shouldn't, like really breaking down the steps with the Weight Watchers. But some other problems would be it does not really address specific health concerns. It really just focuses on like maintaining your weight or lowering your weight, but there are also some things but in general health and fitness is that you want to be doing improving your diet or doing exercises to improve your overall health. It's not just about losing weight. And also specific menu plans, again, like they say this is what you can eat. They give you menus to design things for you. That can be a complication when coming off it. So that'd be one problem with it. But it does promote, this is one thing, it does actually promote diet and exercise together. But then it also does promote the fresh foods, the fresh vegetables, like you were saying. All right, next we're gonna talk about the raw food diet. This is a newer diet. The raw food diet is based on the belief that uncooked and unprocessed foods can help you achieve a better health and prevent diseases such as heart disease and cancer. That's what their claims are. Some problems with this is that it's a very strict diet. A lot of people have a hard time following this diet without having expert help, without going to that dietitian or going to that nutritionist, because of the fact that what can you eat? What can I eat that will supply enough calcium to my body? What can I eat to have enough, potassium and vitamin D, vitamin A? Because like you're so limited on what you can and can't eat. It's very confusing to follow. If you're going to follow it, you have to like plan out your meals very meticulously. You have to do it very detailed. With this one, it can be very expensive again because of the foods that they limit you from.
And like no cooked?
No cooked foods. So no like bread, no like pasta. You don't, unless you eat hard pasta, even then, because to make the pasta, they have to cook it in the factory. You're not supposed to eat like uncooked wheat, because wheat can contain like bacteria in it. So you couldn't eat any kind of pasta, and no beans, because beans have to be cooked unless you want to break your teeth. Unless you have green beans, so it's a really restrictive diet. Again, like I said, it's really hard to meet those nutritional needs without an expert help on this diet. But things to take away from this diet would be they really push fresh foods. That's pretty much all you can eat in this diet is fresh foods, and it's also high quality foods.
And that's why some of the fad diets, especially when people are, I don't want to say desperate, but they want to make a change, they want to make a big improvement in their body. Of course, seeing something like a raw food diet with fresh, like that obviously must be good. So without going through and doing the information, finding out what it all entails, or consulting a dietitian to help you, which things all cost money, that's where some of the fad diets can lead you astray.
Yeah, and also the problem with this diet is that it does result in weight loss, like rapid weight loss. So people will see that and like, oh, this person lost, 10 pounds in a week, 20 pounds in a week, and it's not because of the diet. It's just because your body is being deprived, and that's never good. So this diet was popular just the fact that it's a very, very rapid weight loss.
So results, they say, since they see results, they're like, that must be good, which is not always, of course, the case.
Yeah. All right, so we have the blood type diet. I'm going to do a quick video real quick of a UCLA professor kind of explaining the diet a little bit.
Hi there, this is Dr. Dave Huber. I'm the founding director of the UCLA Center for Human Nutrition, and I want to talk to you about diets that don't work. Now, one of the most popular diets that doesn't work is actually the blood type diet. Now, blood types evolved in human beings for various reasons over the history of man, but it has absolutely nothing to do with diet. It's important if you're going for a blood transfusion that your blood be carefully matched for type A, B, O, or O positive, whatever it happens to be, but this has nothing to do with diet. Now, what this diet author did, sold millions and millions of books, was to kind of say, well, the diet you need is the one at the time a particular blood type evolved during the evolution of man. Well, that's total bogus. These diets don't work. Why was it so successful? Because this was the first attempt at personalized diets. People know that they have their own blood type, so they think, oh, well, if I follow that diet from my blood type, I'm going to lose weight. Well, the fact of the matter is it's not based on science, and this is definitely a diet myth. This is Dr. Dave Huber. I'll see you next time.
All right. So like he said, there is no scientific evidence to prove that because if you eat this certain food, because you're type A, you're going to lose weight. Or if you eat this type of food, type A, you're going to gain weight. There's no evidence saying that that is why you're gaining weight or that's why you're losing weight. It's also restrictive again because a diet or A blood type, you can say I can eat this, but B blood type can't eat this. I did give some examples of like what would a diet for each type be. So A would be primarily vegetarians. Again, like that's like if I don't know my blood type, sadly, I feel like I should know that. But if I was type A, I'd be like, this would be really like devastating for me that I could not eat meat. And like in order to maintain a healthy weight or to lose weight, I would have to only be a vegetarian.
Or you want to exercise gently.
Yeah, or exercise gently. And I'm an aggressive exerciser. That's why I do pound. So yeah, it's a very restrictive diet. And again, nothing says that your blood type will affect your diet or how you metabolize food. But there are some things you can take away from this. So it does say everyone is different, every body is different, and therefore your diet should be different. You should have a customizable diet. You should be very flexible with your diet. You need to learn your body and always know that not every single diet is going to work for you. If it works for, even if it works for your sister, your mom, your dad, whoever in your family, it might not work for you because you are your own person. But the overall diet for the blood type diet is generally healthier foods. And a lot of people that, like scientists and nutritionists that review this diet, they think the only reason people are losing weight is because they went from eating unhealthy foods and then following this diet that has healthy food options, then losing weight because of the food, but not because of they're following their blood type diet. All right, the baby food diet, we'll go over it real quick. This centers around the idea that eating small jars of baby food is a way to control your caloric intake, so it's a calorie counting diet. So the problems with this one, it's tough to meet nutritional needs. Not all baby, like if you're eating just bananas, mushed bananas from baby food, that you're just getting potassium really out of that. So you're not really meeting all your needs for that. It suggests complement food. So this diet says that if you, let's say like if you eat a banana and peanut butter together, their theory that these two things together will make you lose weight. Not necessarily that specific example, but if then some people say, well, you eat banana with oranges, that'll make you gain weight. So that's why it's the complement food. So it suggests that you shouldn't be eating these two foods together, or you should eat these two foods together. It's restrictive again, and it can be expensive. Baby food is a little more expensive. But things you can't take away from this, baby food can provide a nice low-calorie snack option if you like baby food. Or you just eat a banana, to be honest with you. But if you want to have like a nice controlled snack, it is a small portion for you to be able to have a nice quick snack. And a lot of baby foods are simple, very few ingredients in them. So less ingredients in general means healthier for you.
Your friends may think you're crazy because you're eating baby food.
Yeah, friends might think you're crazy.
And then the reason is also if you really wanted to do that kind of diet, you could just get whatever that raw material is and make sure you mush it down yourself.
And just pray it.
Yeah, and just put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it into a small container, and then it teaches portion control.
Right.
But going out there and buying that just because of that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's probably very plain that way.
But not adding ingredients to it is important. That is nice.
Yeah. Okay, this is an extreme diet. It's called the tapeworm diet. I don't know if it actually exists anymore because of the whole idea behind it. When it first came out, it was like the magic pill, that you take this pill and you lose weight. But no one really knew what the pill, they were taking these pills and what was in the pill. And they found out that it was actually tapeworms were inside these pills. So the idea is the tapeworm works by swallowing the pill, and the tapeworm egg will then hatch inside of you. And when eventually the egg hatches, the tapeworm will grow inside you in the body, and it'll eat whatever you're eating. So it'll start consuming. That's what parasites do. Parasites will eat your nutritional value. That's their purpose. So the problem with this is you cannot control where that worm attaches once it's inside your body. Ideally, you want it to attach in your stomach or your intestines, where it's supposed to be absorbing your food. But once it's in your body, it goes wherever it wants. It's a parasite. So it could attach to your heart, your brain stem. It can really attach anywhere once it's in there. So then it could cause disruption of vital organs and their organ function, and it could potentially lead to death if you're not taken care of. So other problems with, like, if it does attach anywhere near your brain, you could have some problems with your vision, memory problems, any other problems with function, motor functions. It actually does cause weight gain because you'll be eating, the worms will be eating your food, you'll feel hungry, so you'll keep eating. The worms will start craving more food, so then your appetite will actually increase. You'll end up eating too much, and you start gaining weight. Then worst part would probably be removing these worms, so like deworming pills. Probably not fun to consume. They could lead to like fevers, diarrhea, any kind of uncomfortable body surgery, and then drainage of your brain fluid or drainage of any fluid. I've also heard that if a tactic of removing these worms is like if they're not too deep, they'll try to.
I'm like into Today, the blood type diet, a diet that uses your blood type to determine
you wanna X
what
that
foods
YouTube.
are healthiest for you. It has
That's
people
not
across
the-
the world actually learning what their blood types are for the first time. So we're going to look at the
There you go. We're talking blood types again. All right. Yeah. So they say they can like lure the worms out by like enticing it with food, and that just sounds disturbing. So thing to take away from this: avoid this at all costs. Don't.
They give it to you for free.
Yeah. Don't do
I
it.
mean, I think I've heard of it, but what, like somebody actually could give you, I mean, there were people that gave
Yep.
pills of this.
Yeah, and they call it the magic pill. And so like anytime that you have like a pill marketed, it says rapid weight loss or it's a magic pill, no need to exercise, it just or you just sit on the couch and just lose weight. That just, it could be this, and you could be in danger, and I would just avoid that at all costs. Okay, so some more insight on the fad diets. Anything that promotes rapid weight loss. So healthy weight loss is only 2 pounds per week. That should be your maximum amount. Granted, at the beginning of an exercise routine, you might be losing more weight due to water weight loss, and then towards the end or like somewhere in the middle, you might be gaining weight because your muscle mass is growing, but you don't want to be losing more than 2 pounds per week. Also, it has major limitations, restrictions in quantities, promotes specific food combinations like the baby food diet, so not eating these foods or eating these foods together. Also, anything that says, don't eat this food in the morning or don't eat this food at night. There is like one general rule: you shouldn't be eating a big meal like 2 hours before you go to bed, just so your body can metabolize it before it goes to sleep. But you can eat pretty much whatever food you want at night. It's not like if you eat bananas in the morning, you're more. I keep going bananas. I really want bananas today. Like you're like going to have a slow metabolism. There's no scientific evidence saying that certain foods and during certain times of the day.
It always depends on what you're doing. Like if you're trying to do weightlifting competitions or certain things, some people drink other things, proteins, so it's still in their system, so they still have something overnight. But it just depends what you're doing.
Yeah. And then anything that suggests. Anything with a very rigid food plan or menu, so like the raw food diet, it's very particular. Anything that suggests that there's no need to exercise. Diet and exercise are very important together. They work together for a healthy body. All right, some healthy guidelines for a healthy diet. So this is for choosemyplate.gov. It's like the most known U.S. Nutrition guide. So they focus on whole fruits, so eating like the peels of apples. Sometimes even seeds can provide nutritional value. I know pomegranate seeds actually have big health benefits to them. You want to vary your veggies, so don't eat carrots every day. Try to like have some green vegetables one night, and then maybe like orange vegetables the next night. And then next would be vary your protein routine. I like how that one rhymes. So you don't want to just eat fish or just eat red meat. You want to make sure you're eating a good variety of meats. Make half your grains whole. This is a very good step, an easy transition you can do to improve your grain consumption. Ideally, you want to have all your grains be whole, but I know for some people it's hard for them to switch over. So half your grains whole is a very good first step. Next, you want to move towards low-fat or fat-free milks and yogurt or dairy products. Next, we drink and eat less sodium, saturated fats, and added sugars. And then make small changes. So small changes can go a really long way. So if you eat dessert every single night, maybe cut back, take away 3 desserts a week, or switch desserts out with a sugary fruit. I know that's what I do for my sweet tooth. I love chocolate, so I resist by replacing that with a fruit, because fruit is sugary, so fill that craving. Some fitness guidelines. So what is physical activity? It's any movement that uses energy for your body. There are different levels. You have light, moderate, and vigorous activity, and we'll kind of go over those 3 real quick. So light activity, this is actually not including your weekly physical activity needs. This will be things that like casual walking, grocery shopping, household chores, carrying laundry up and down the stairs. All those things are just lightweight. They are still considered activity, and any activity is good. They just won't be counted towards your physical activity weekly needs. Okay, so next would be your moderate physical activity. This would include brisk walking, golfing, canoeing. You also have like cycling, casual cycling, certain like dancing. But depending, like if you're doing like Zumba, I feel like Zumba can be kind of intense. So that would probably be more of a vigorous activity. So recommendations for adults of 18 to 64 is 2.5 hours per week. And that can be divided up. You can do 10 minutes here and there, or you can do a 30-minute walk every time you go home. Or you can also mix this with vigorous activity as well. So if you don't have 2.5 hours a week, you can add a little bit of vigorous activity and you'll still meet your needs. So next we have vigorous activity, so running, jogging, bicycling, any competitive sports, anything that really causes your heart rate to really go up and kind of makes you out of breath. Those would be considered vigorous physical activity. Recommendations for adults is 1 hour and 15 minutes per week. So some people, they feel like they can't participate in these vigorous activities because they're not in that physical condition. So that studies have shown that vigorous activity does supply similar health benefits as moderate activity does. It just takes less time to do vigorous activities. So you can still get the same health benefits by doing moderate activities. It's just you're going to take more time exercising in your week. Okay, so health and fitness as a lifestyle. So one of the main points I want to get across today is that your health and fitness is a journey. It's not just about losing weight for that wedding or losing weight for that vacation. It's about your long-term health, your every single day. Like if you're in a better, healthy condition, you're eating healthier foods, you're more awake, you can do more things in your day, you'll live a longer life. Studies have shown you decrease your chances of certain chronic diseases. So it's really about the journey, and it's not about that one event or that one day.
And that being said, also when people talk about diet, the word diet in general is more what animals, people, things eat habitually. You can be on a diet, or your diet consists of certain things, but it doesn't have to be something you're only going to do for a month. It can be what you eat for the rest of your life. You're like, this is what my diet consists of. Mm-hmm. So that's sometimes trying to change the word diet. People always think it's a fad. And
right.
Yeah, it's really
right.
not.
It's
what you're
eating.
It's what you're consuming.
Do every day, yeah.
Yep. And there's some resources that I would find helpful for you to look into if you ever want to. So choosemyplate.gov, it gives you lots of information on nutrition, like your portions, what you should be eating, what kind of vitamin minerals are in certain foods. The USDA, another good resource for a lot of articles, a lot of research articles of what foods are beneficial for what things. The dietary guidelines for Americans of 2015 to 2020, it's about to expire, but typically they don't change too much from each edition. They might have new discoveries of something, but they typically stay the same. And then, so I chose like MyFitnessPal. It's a good tracker device of like tracking your fitness, tracking your food. You can really see what you're eating in the day and what like where you can maybe cut back on, or maybe you're slacking on, so you can add some things in. And all those references together would work really nice to try to really find a good diet for you. All right, and some final thoughts and notes. I have on my phone here, sorry. Okay, so a big one, a diet is not about losing weight. A diet is about improving your health. Everything you eat is your diet, like Spencer said. Your health and fitness is not the end goal, it's a journey. So it's not, again, about that one event. It's about your lifelong continuation of that diet and that plan.
Or some people say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
You're trying to do it for the rest of your life, not just for a month.
Yeah. Then you need to consider, why are you wanting to start this new diet that you heard about? Is it because, are you wanting to like lose weight? Are you wanting to improve your health? Are you wanting to just try something new? You should really consider, why are you wanting to do this diet? What's the main reason behind this? If you're wanting to do it for weight, I want you to reconsider that diet and see if there's any other options you can do to help you lose weight besides these fad diets. And then consider the diet if it has longevity, or is it just something temporarily that as soon as you hit your goal, you want to be done with it. Like, can you keep up with this diet for the rest of your life? Like, if you choose a low carb or no carb diet, can you do that diet forever? Because there has been some things that show that once you go back to your old ways, you tend to gain weight more quickly because your body has been deprived of those foods.
It can also be simply as much like, do you hate yourself that day? Like, you're going through this diet, or you're like, this is horrible, I don't care what's going on. But anything that restricts yourself to where you're not enjoying your life is not the right way, and you should look at your options.
Yeah. And some small changes can go a long way. Like I said, with the dessert, you know, doing fruit for your dessert instead of doing an actual like cake or brownies, even though they sound delicious. They just make these little tiny changes, because little tiny changes can lead to big changes, and eventually you can, you know, get to that ideal healthy lifestyle. Just imagine if you do one little thing that can inspire you to do more little things, and eventually it'll add up. Instead of just drastically changing your diet, that's probably these bad diets. People all of a sudden they change their diet, and it's just so drastic that you want to revert back, more likely want to revert back. So you make small changes. It's always better than making a huge change. And everything in moderation. That's my big thing in my diet, is to always control what I'm eating. Like, it's okay to have ice cream. It's okay to have pizza. It's okay to eat hamburgers. As long as you're not binging on those or consuming them every single day, just try to make sure you're eating everything in moderation. Only thing I would try to avoid, in my opinion, would be trans fats. Trans fats are a no-no in my book. The biggest thing with trans fats, just a little snippet, would be if you read the nutritional label on the ingredients, if anything says partially hydrogenated or fully hydrogenated in the ingredients, it means it has trans fats in it, even if it says zero trans fat, because the FDA, or is FDA that regulates them?
Yeah.
As long as it's under 0.5, the company can technically put 0 on their nutritional facts label. So just check your ingredients on those.
And I think by 2020, nothing's supposed to have trans fat in anymore, but I'm not sure if that's the exact date, but they're really trying to
I
phase
wonder
it
what
all
Kitchen
out.
Cook's gonna do.
Yeah, I know.
So Kitchen Cook potato chips is like the most trans fat.
Which one?
Kitchen Cook.
Kitchen Cook?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Everyone
Ready
loves
to
it.
taste
Yeah. They changed their recipe a little bit ago. It was 3 grams of trans fat per serving, and now it's, I think it's 1.
Yeah,
but-
but still, like those ones where it's none. You want none of that. Even though you're like, oh, 1 can't be that bad, but it tastes so good. It changes which things you want, and it's all about building those habits that we're working on. Like she said, you can have ice cream, you just can't have ice cream all the time. And you got to get better at knowing yourself. Like me, I love sweets. So whenever my birthday was just this weekend, I was like, hey, just some fruits and I like. People, of course, still came with cakes. So I was like, hey, try some of this. I'm like, no, like, you don't understand. I could have some, but then it's just for me, it's a floodgate. A floodgate opens up, and then I want some more, or I'll be like, oh, I've had some. It's all right. So just know yourself and figure out what you can and what you can't do.
yeah. And then you can always take tidbits from the fad diets.
Yeah.
Like if you like a certain idea from that diet, then you can try it a little bit. Just not the tapeworm diet. Don't follow that one. All right.
Any questions?
There's a question. That's my dog.
Aww.
Her name is Anna Magus. But
That's cute.
any questions or
Concerns, grapes, complaints.
you say grapes?
No, I said grapes.
Oh.
Grapes and bananas. I do have some grapes.
What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting, like just like not eating for like a certain amount of time. Is that?
Yeah. Most of the time they break it up to like where you.
Like 16-8.
Yeah.
And then you have an 8-hour window of eating within the other 16 hours, which is part of your sleep, so it's not that awful.
I personally think it's okay. but
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. And then you still got to look to where when you aren't eating, and then when you get to the point to where you can eat, you still got to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition you need from other food groups. And it depends with protein. Like myself, I'm 250 something pounds now, and I'm supposed to have so much protein throughout the day if I want to maintain my muscle mass. If I was to do it all in one amount of time and I don't space it out like excruciating amount much, I won't be able to absorb that much protein that I need if I just try to do it within a certain time. So I would have to be like, as soon as my window starts, I gotta have at least 50 grams of protein, do something else, and then 2 to 3 3 hours would pass. Then I'd have to make sure I have that. It'd be really hard for me to do that, but it's not horrible. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I also consider like what you're doing that day. Like if you're, planning to go on a crazy kayaking trip or something, and you're gonna be burning a lot of energy, like maybe not that day. Like maybe just choose a day where it's like a normal day for you on that diet.
I forget the name of, there's one where they talk about, it's not like a yo-yo diet, because yo-yo diets are bad, but you have your calorie cap for the week, and then you try to hit a certain amount every day, but you're allowed to kind of float in between. Like if you have this much this day, you can have a little bit more this day, but it still adds up towards the end of the end. And that can work as long as you're not doing like a little bit, and then you're like, well, now I can have all the cake and stuff I want this day, and then you're going back and down. It doesn't quite work as well.
Because your body does make pretty quick adjustments to like what you're eating. Like if you deprive yourself of food all day long, your body will adjust to that. It will slow down its metabolism, and then also you eat the big food, your body takes a minute, like, wait a second, I gotta turn back on, I gotta re-amp, figure it out again. So there could be problems with that diet. I would just do your research on it, and
if not, sometimes, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
And sometimes when you talk about your doctors, or you say, and this is a hard feeling, so I want to do exercise science. I've been learning more and more as I go there. And I think everyone in general should take a nutrition class, either ICC, anywhere. They're really easy, anyone can pass it, but it teaches you a lot of things you just need to know for basic nutritional needs. That being said, when you go to your doctor and you ask them something about your nutrition, if they're not a licensed dietitian, they may not have all of the right answers. And it's hard to think about the part, because people just, well, they're my doctor, they should know exactly what.
Yeah.
Not necessarily true. And you don't have to be like, are you a licensed dietitian? but honestly, you can ask and be about that, or you said, hey, can you connect me with a licensed dietitian? And that's where you really can get the information you need, especially if you want to try a keto diet. And we didn't talk about it that much this time. You can look it up, but if you ever to start one of those, you want to have your dietitian in your back pocket. You want to have some other people that you can talk to, or even if it's personal trainers. Not all personal trainers are licensed dietitians. Liz, I think, has some, and Darcy is, and Evan. But yeah, there's so many questions.
What about cleanses, or, I'm trying to think of
Fast.
like juicing and stuff.
Like the juice cleanse, or there's different.
There's no scientific evidence that says that is actually doing what it says it's doing.
Sure.
So I guess if you like smoothies and juice,
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, you think about before you get a colonoscopy, or I haven't had mine yet because I'm not
Yeah,
the
you're
age,
just,
but
like, cleaning your
that's
system
cleaning
out.
your body, so then when they look inside you, they're making sure that they don't see other colorations and things, because it's in your body. But however, if you were to kind of, let's say, clean all the tubes and stuff in your body and then go through, it can. I mean, once again, there's not a lot of scientific evidence-wise,
okay.
but I think it's okay as long as you listen to yourself and figure out about your body. But it's not something, once again, that's something you're going to do for, at most, a week during a
Right.
time.
Yeah.
If you're doing, I do a fast like once every quarter sometimes, or once twice a year. But
Okay.
I'm making sure I'm getting what I need to do, and during those days, sometimes you're like, I'm hangry, or I'm fine.
Yeah, that's me all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt it has helped me as far as reset my insulin scores and things to work on. But once again, not scientific wise.
Yeah.
And when you look at some of those scientific studies, if you really get down into the gist of it, you want to look at their sample sizes, how many people were doing the study, especially being at a college, you can actually see what they're using. Sometimes it's only like a sample group of 10, 5, 20. And really in the rules of stats, you need a lot more. So it's kind of like, this is what they're basing it on.
Yeah. And that really goes like any research
Yeah.
out there. Like there's biases. They're not supposed to be biased in the
Yeah.
research, but the researcher will be like, well, I kind of want this result. Like I wanted my results to do this, so they'll sway the wording of that article. So you just want to always be reading multiple articles and about those.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.